with it. High dig by Trevor Sherman. Bill Suara sends it over. Rick McLaughlin with the attack off the block. Side out, Lions.
That's a tough hit that time by McLaughlin, hitting it cross court. He'll be back to serve. He serves it short. Pass over the net. Oh, and Loyola doesn't take advantage of that.
And we have Mike Garcia laying on the floor for UCLA there. Point Lions.
That's a lucky break for the Lions. They should have pounded that overset.
House Cates asking for a substitution coming into the game for the Bruins. Kent Robinette earned a spot on the varsity as a freshman. Currently is a junior. Sat out the last 2 years on the Bruins squad. Played on the JV taxi squad. He's out of Santa Cruz. Ball comes in. Picked up by Suara. Out to number 26, Mike Garcia. Doesn't get over the net, Robert.
Well, as I say, he makes it look so easy, and that time you can see it. It's a difficult hit. You're back 10 feet from the net. Makes it much more difficult to spike.
9 is serving 13. Benny Wang tries to send it over. Net cut, blocks him.
Wow.
Solo.
As a setter, when you're in the front court in a 5-1, you can do that dump shot, but you better make sure there's no one blocking you. If you do that, coaches get very upset.
Timeout. We'll be back with more volleyball action on the American Cable Systems.
What is the Constitution?
I think the Constitution is a red triangle. The presidents made a Constitution. I have a shirt, and it has black and white. It says Escobar.
The Constitution.
We're back, and what you missed was Don Dendinger knocking the ball out of bounds. Good for a point for Loyola Marymount. It's now 11-13, as you see on the screen.
Loyola putting the pressure on UCLA now. Remember now, if Loyola wins this game, the match is over. Whereas if UCLA wins, we go to the 5th and final game.
And that could be an exciting time for Loyola Marymount University. They came into tonight's game not expecting to win. And I think that they're showing that they've got some talent here in Westchester. Ball comes over, sent out to number 21, Bill Suara.
Off Donaldson's hand, out of bounds, off the antenna.
I correct myself, it's a side out UCLA. Bill Suara back to serve. Serve comes over, sent back to Danny McInerney. McLaughlin into the middle to Chuck Donlin. Kaboom!
Well, that's a big side out by Loyola. If they're going to win this match, they're not going to have a much better opportunity than they do right now, only 4 points away from victory in the match, although trailing 11-13.
And there's the pass. Benny Wang taking the set to Don Dendinger, and it goes off the block of Loyola Marymount. Back to serve for the blue and gold of Westwood, it is Benny Wang. 13, looking at 11. Serve comes over, it's picked up by Mike Longacre. Set to Chuck Donlin, off-speed shot. Dug up by Suara. Jamie Cleary will attack the ball, and he finds some room on the 10-foot line.
Cleary going with a beach cut shot that time.
And I'm sure he knows that cut shot well. He grew up just up the street from State Beach and Pacific Palisades. We've got game point in favor in the Bruins. Danny McInerney picks it up. McLaughlin and Donlin into the block. Longacre picks it up. Can Cott get there? Yes, he does. Donlin into the block.
Great
Dug
cover.
up by McLaughlin. Wang
For the game.
It's good. Game UCLA.
Cleary for the game clutches up and hits the line.
We've got a great match. We're going to go to game number 5. But before we go, we're going to talk to Bo Kimball here on the American Cable System. And Bo is the outstanding player of the game against the Pepperdine Waves for the Loyola Marymount Lions last night. Bo, welcome to tonight's volleyball match. How'd you feel last night going against Pepperdine?
It felt pretty good. It was a big rivalry game. It was very important to us, and we came out to, of course, to get our fast break going and get them tied in the second half, and unfortunately they broke down as we expected.
Well, on Saturday night, the game, Pepperdine Waves versus Loyola Marymount Lions, will be live here on the American Cable System. What do you think? The Lions going against the Waves in their own Lions Den. How's that feel?
Yeah, well, well, this is our place, and we haven't lost here yet this year. So we feel pretty confident at home. I think teams have a better chance of beating the Lions, at their place better than to come here. But it'll be a pretty tough game. We expect Pepperdine to come out, play harder, and know what exactly what to expect. So it'll be a pretty good game this weekend.
What brings you out to a volleyball game? To watch your fellow Lions?
I got out of my tutor session a little earlier, and I said I was going to come over here and see the game. Normally, I never had the time to come over, so when I do, I try to support the teams.
What do you think about the Lions coming out tonight?
Oh, they playing pretty good. What I've seen, they're putting it together, and hopefully they can beat this ranked number 3 UCLA team.
Right now it's quite close. We're going into the 5th game of a best 3 of 5 match. I'm Sam Lagana. Assisting me in calling the game tonight is Robert Chavez, and our guest right now, Bo Kimble. Bo, good luck tomorrow night, and we'll be watching, on Saturday night, and we'll be watching you here on the American Cable System.
Okay, thanks, Sam.
Take care. And we're back at action here in the Albert Gersten Pavilion. We were fortunate enough to have Bo Kimble, the big gun for the Loyola Marymount Lions, putting down 32 points for the Lions last night against the Pepperdine Waves. And Robert Chavez, we have got a great game on our hands right here.
Really surprised to see it go 5 games. Any match that goes 5 games is fun to watch because this is the game. It all comes down to this game. What they've done tonight earlier has no meaning.
And as they say, that's the stuff that games are made of, and there's been a lot of stuffs tonight by some people you wouldn't expect. Matt Cott getting 2 solo blocks tonight, and that's pretty exciting for a guy who's only 5'9" on a team that's ranked 17 in the nation.
Well, Loyola is just playing great. There's no question about it. If they played like this every night, they wouldn't be ranked 17th. Not that 17th is bad, but they're playing really a high caliber of volleyball tonight.
Well, we look for the Lions. We're going to take a commercial break right now. We hope that you're enjoying collegiate volleyball. We want you to join us tomorrow night, Friday, NCAA volleyball, Stanford versus Loyola Marymount. That'll be live, 7:15, right here on Channel 27 on the American Cable System.
When you've got VCR and cable together, everything is rosy. You'll be taping comedy, hot sports action, and heart-stopping adventure. You can pick the plums from culture and the movies, one-of-a-kind concerts, and fascinating documentaries. You can even tape while you sleep. VCR and cable, they're made for each other.
That's it. I'm history. End of the road.
You can't quit, Vince. No crash dummy takes out a utility pole like you do.
Larry, for years I've been proving how safety belts save lives, but nobody's listening.
Sure they are.
Yeah, that's why thousands die in car accidents every year. I feel like I'm banging my head against the wall.
Come on, Vince. Tomorrow's the big day. 2 compacts. Head on.
High speed?
Could save a life.
No, I'll be there.
Yeah.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
We're back at the Albert Gersten Pavilion. We want to remind you, NCAA basketball coming up Saturday night. The only live telecast of Loyola Marymount, ranked number 20 in the country with the longest winning streak at 18, going against their arch rival, the Pepperdine Waves, who are currently in 2nd place in the West Coast Athletic Conference. Loyola Marymount assured of at least a tie of 1st place at this point. They have 3 more games, one against Pepperdine, a game against San Diego, and a game against St. Mary's. The only other team that could catch them at this point would be the Pepperdine Waves, and the Waves will be looking for an upset. The story right now, though, is Loyola Marymount in a 5-game match going against UCLA. The Lions ranked 17 in the country. The Bruins coming in ranked number 3 on one poll, number 5 in another poll, where the Lions are also ranked 17. They're stable in their position down on the hole.
I think one of the keys tonight, Sam, has been that Loyola has passed the ball really well, whereas UCLA has had a lot of trouble passing the ball. And that is very significant because it's hard to run your offense when the pass is becoming mid-court or is shot at the setter really quickly. A good pass means you can run your plays properly, makes it a lot easier on your setter and your hitters.
And there you had it, the story on your screen just a moment ago about how the games went. The first game going to LMU, the second game UCLA, the third game LMU, the fourth game UCLA. And here we are, and you see it again. That last game, 15-11. Both games the Lions have lost have been 15-11, as you see. And that tells you a pretty interesting story when the Lions had a 5-game match against Chapman in an AIA school. And they've been outlasted by Pepperdine in 3 straight, but they're playing this Bruin team tough, and we're back at action. 5th game, best 3 of 5 match. There you see Jamie Cleary whipping the ball cross court, getting a touch off of Chris Young.
Cleary starting off the way he ended the last game with a kill.
Benny Wang back to serve. He is the backup setter for the Bruins. Matt Sonicson out ill tonight. You see Danny McInerney with the attack. Wang with a deep set. Goes over to Mike Garcia from the 10-foot line. Donlin passing the ball, and it goes to Rick McLaughlin. Whip it down.
McLaughlin finding a hole in the block that time. Nice hard spike.
Side out Loyola Marymount, number 15, Mike Longacre is back to serve. Goose eggs are on the board. There you see the serve coming over the net. It's picked up by the Bruins. Into the middle, Don Dendinger. He goes one-on-one with Chris Young and wins the attack.
At this point, 2-2, UCLA now feels like, well, now we'll just play a good game and we're going to win this match. And Loyola's got to think, hey, we can win this game. But they're going to need to start off tough if they're going to do so.
There's the attack into Chris Young, and the Bruins keep it in play after some great bumper action by the Bruins. There's the whip into the antenna, and that's no-no.
That was great defense by UCLA that time, and they're the first on the scoreboard, 1-0 UCLA.
Don Dendinger, the All-American out of UCLA, is back to serve. One looks at 0, as Robert mentioned. Chuck Donlin with the pass. McInerney with the attack, goes off the block, side out, LMU.
It looks like UCLA is playing with some emotion this game, and Loyola certainly is. Loyola has played with emotion throughout this match.
Danny McInerney back to serve. 0 looking at 1. Serve comes over, falls into the middle. Bill Suara picks it up into the middle. Trevor Sherman, and double hit. Charge to the Lions.
Looked like the setter mishandled the ball that time, and then the referee made a makeup call and called the lift, the double hit on Chuck Donlin. Oh, I'm sorry, on number 20 that time, Trevor Sherman.
That's correct. It's 1-1 on the scoreboard. Al Skates is arguing this, and I don't see Al get up too often in very many volleyball games.
Well, Al's right. It was a bad call, but as I say, it was a makeup call because he should have called the throw on the setter in the first place. So all's well that ends well. Loyola has the ball and they're serving.
Danny McInerney with the serve, comes into the middle to Trevor Sherman, dug up by McInerney. Donlin the save, Longacre to the back row. Benny Wang will set it for the Bruin offense. Number 4, Jamie Cleary gets a big root from Chuck Donlin and Chris Young.
Oh, that time Chris Young got his left hand over the net and just clamped Cleary.
Somebody
Great
did not
block.
tell Jamie Cleary that there were 2 people ready to take that ball right away from him. 2-1 Lions. Cleary takes the pass. It goes outside to Mike Garcia. Longacre picks it up. It's a bump set by Cutt. Young knocks it over, and the Bruins are on offense right now. One-handed set. Donlin on the solo block. Back to Trevor Sherman. Donlin knocks it over. Garcia picks it up. Back to Garcia. Through the block. It's picked up, and it's passed out of bounds.
Nice catch, Sam. Look at that. You know how to set the ball and everything.
Old days of volleyball. Jamie Cleary out of Pacific Palisades, California, serving 1-0 on the board. Goes back to Rick McLaughlin. Cross court.